Hey everyone, hope you've been doing well. I took a bit of a break, but I am back in action with some of these charts. And in this video, I just wanted to show you some of the more generic HEX charts that I've been putting together since we've been seeing some more positive price action. So LookIntoMaxi, I'm rebuilding it on a new software, like a new stack. So React, Next.js, and yeah, just making the site as good as it can be for you guys. But yeah, it's been really interesting recently since we've been seeing more positive price action. I've been testing out making hex charts rather than maxi charts, but I will get back to fleshing out some of the other pages from the old LookIntoMaxi page at some point. I still need to figure out how to make tables and some other database related stuff, but for now I've been putting together a bunch of these time series charts, and one of the main ones which you can find in the footer, there's a bunch of other charts here. Crypto X's from the low, which I really like. That's on this page here, so you can kind of compare, and I saw someone posting this kind of X's from the low comparison of HEX versus other core tokens, core coins, and I really like the visuals, so I recreated it. And yeah, so this is measuring from the hex low, and you can also turn hex off and compare Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana against one another from the hex low if you're interested in that. But yeah, you can kind of see ETH's underperforming, Solana's overperforming, and then you have Bitcoin here obviously doing well for Bitcoin. Then if you go down here, you have RH tickers versus one another, which is also cool to look at. And on this chart, you can select any date for the comparison start date, or you can select from one of the predefined lows. So for example, from the Pulse chain price low, the performance, turn off PHEX, and you can kind of have a look at how Pulse is doing. You know, EHEX is performing Pulse, for example, from its low, which is interesting, and also PulseX. So do from the PulseX low, yeah, PulseX. So if the way to think about this is if you select the low of a token like PulseX and it's not outperforming everything else, then it's really, you're giving it a head start basically. Like you're giving it the best chance of outperforming, measuring from the very, very low. But if it's still not outperforming, then there's definitely an issue. And that's why when you look at, like, for example, Ethereum, on the next chart I'll show you. So next chart, everything versus everything. This is RH tickers and kind of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. If you look at Ethereum from the Ethereum low, you can see Solana outperforming Ethereum, Bitcoin outperforming Ethereum. So that's what, you know, all the noise is about on Twitter about Ethereum kind of underperforming in a sense. And it's been underperforming Bitcoin really since August significantly, when Bitcoin's been starting its run. And then you can do like a specific date. And when you change the low, the date picker updates, so it makes it easier to update. So if you want to go all the way back to the Bitcoin low, which is 22nd of November 2022, then you can go kind of forward to 1st of January 2023, for example. And you can see from, what's that, past 2 years performance or so. And then just to make it easier for comparison, turn Solana off. And you can see the past 2 years, we've still got a long way to go, obviously, to get back up to where ETH and Bitcoin are in terms of performance. And this uses the launch price, or it uses the sacrifice price for Pulse and PulseX. So that's worth noting. If the date goes back further back than this, then it uses those values for the ROI. Cool. And then there's this other kind of marketing visual that I put together, which I think is cool for screenshots on Twitter and stuff. I want to make the same thing, but for all the other RH tickers like Pulse, Inc, PulseX, and yeah, will be cool to screenshot as we go forward. It's fully dynamic. Then we've got, I guess I can touch on this slightly, combined hex price. So I just tried recreating the chart that, Dipcatcher put together, but recreating it in recharts, and yeah, so that the tooltip looks nice and pretty. But yeah, you can see that we're just above the all-time median price now, so definitely making some progress there. And then you can also see it broken down for p-hex price and e-hex price. I do need to update the e-hex price feed here because Hex Daily Stats, for whatever reason, hasn't been logging it, but we'll get around to that. Hex X's from low is another cool chart. These are all dynamic as well, but it measures from the all-time low, so back here. It measures from the local low, so here, 6x up from there, and then it measures the X's until the all-time high as well for combined hex price. Hex liquidity. This is a really cool chart. It's kind of showing the liquidity and overlaid on the hex price. So kind of you can see that they converge and diverge from each other, which makes sense, but it's still a pretty chart to look at. And then the same for eHex. And yeah, I think that's everything for the other kind of broader hex related charts. I hope you find them useful, and I'll probably keep rolling out different ones as I come up with them.